What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Nervy, where wellness meets weirdness. I'm one of your co-creators at Weirdo Hour.
And I'm your other co-creator, Hannah at Blonde on the Run.
And this week, we're kicking things off with the rise of influencers crossover episoding into other shows. And I'll
Yes.
break it down a bit. So, examples that I'm thinking of off the top of my head: Dancing with the Stars featuring Alex Earl this year, The Bachelorette featuring Taylor Frankie Paul from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Now, I did go back and look at some of the past casts of Dancing with the Stars.
Sure.
And in like 2019 era, we were seeing folks that were being brought over from other reality TV shows like Queer Eye, The Bachelorette. They had NFL player, I think a hockey player, stars, of course, it's in the name. And then in 2021, post COVID, we started to see people like Olivia Jade, who I feel like, oh, okay, now we're kind of crossing into this influencer territory.
Which I have no idea who that is.
That's the one whose mom paid for her to go to college and she wasn't really on the crew team from Full
Okay.
House.
Nepo. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So, influencer on the show. And, nothing was really special about her being on the show and being an influencer. But now, seeing Alex Earl on Dancing with the Stars and Whitney, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, on Dancing with the Stars, these influencers have started really capitalizing on being with the shows by pushing out all of these additional videos with their dance partners, promoting the show, promoting them as contestants, leading up to the actual episode dates. So, like, every day, you're constantly invested now in their whole journey.
Absolutely. I think that content creators in traditional media realms have become IP, not just talent, because they're not just a contestant when you hire them to be on the show. They're a built-in distribution engine. And that's what you're talking about, where the amount of content, the amount of eyeballs that are going to see that content. It's not random. I think it's risk mitigation by these trad media companies who maybe have seen lower views for their shows in recent years. It's a recognition that online followings may now outperform casting directors when it comes to network television.
Yeah, totally. And other realms, right? I mean, a couple years ago, we saw Addison Rae cast in a feature film, and now she's bridged into the pop singing world. And it all started from her dancing on TikTok. Whitney, who was on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and then on Dancing with the Stars, is now going to be in Chicago on Broadway in a role that typically does go to someone who they're wanting to kind of pull in a crowd for. But still, seeing these influencers kind of break through the stereotype of just being big and having these followings on TikTok or Instagram is becoming just more and more common.
Absolutely. And Addison Rae, did they have a reality show, her and her sister?
They had one for Charlie D'Amelio, which was
Oh,
another
okay.
large TikToker at that time. I don't remember if there was one for Addison.
What's making me think of this is that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it seems like Mom Talk started before the show
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok. So they are one who have almost 3 tiers. They started
Yeah.
on TikTok, then they have a reality show on Hulu, and now you're seeing the stars from that catapult into other trad media and performance realms like Broadway and The Bachelorette, etc.
Yeah. And honestly, as a consumer, they got me.
Absolutely. I think it shows where audience trust has moved
Mm,
because people don't want to just watch creators because they're polished. They want to be able to watch them because they're personalities. Someone like Alex Earl, her whole brand has been hot mess, not being polished and perfect all of the time. But
yeah.
I think networks are finally starting to admit that they can't actually just manufacture that type of personality and draw the way that the internet can.
That's really interesting. And I'm wondering too, like, will people be taking notes on this? Like, for example, the
Yeah.
new Vanderpump just launched with a
All new
brand new
cast,
cast.
right?
All new cast. I don't know anyone from there. And I love the original. And I haven't watched it yet because I have heard from friends like we turned it off after 20 minutes. There's something there about starting them on the show that's not working for me or my friends, maybe not for everyone, that maybe if they would have had some type of TikTok following already where I already kind of knew one or two people to pull me in, I would be like, yeah, I'm on board. I'm ready to bridge that gap from TikTok to reality TV. But for some reason, as an audience, I'm not willing to start over on this new cast.
Which is so interesting, right? Because this is how traditional reality television has been casted for years.
Absolutely.
For years, they've chosen just random people and then they develop a following post show. But
Hmm.
now I think the line is very blurred between internet fame and what is ultimately real fame.
Yeah. This will be the first time I tune into The Bachelorette in a few years because I'm so invested in Taylor Frankie Paul. Like, I have to watch.
Yeah, I feel like for years these creators sat in a less than category, and you
Mhm.
still see this in fashion and other industries. But slowly, just due to the amount of attention and eyeballs in that content distribution machine that they are able to run through their own social platforms, they're skipping steps entirely and just being
Yeah.
slotted where networks used to use more of like a legacy celebrity. Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we haven't seen this person in so long. Let's bring them on Dancing with the Stars. People will wanna catch up with them." It's less about that now, and it's a real validation moment for content creators and the ecosystem that has made them.
Absolutely. One thing too I was thinking of, not only are these people getting the brand deals that they normally do through their content creation, but if you watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives with the ad tier, because you don't want to pay for a full subscription, the ads running in between, same, are of the Mormon wives doing ads for
That's so
product.
true. I
And
noticed
I was
that
like,
too.
wait, what? This is something like very new.
That show is so much more culturally important than I think people realize. The
Mhm.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they're breaking the fourth wall. When it comes to a reality show doing press for their show, that's
Yeah.
never really been a featured episode in reality
Mhm.
television. Maybe it has somewhere. I don't watch them all.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really interesting part of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives this season was the day that they did press. You really got to see that engine and that ecosystem that exists behind the show and what it
Yeah.
feels like for them to have this moment. And that parallel what you would normally see from a creator on TikTok or Instagram or anything.
Totally. Yeah, get
They're
ready with me to
normally
go do press.
Yes, exactly. They're normally doing that behind the scenes pieces on those platforms. So why not make an episode that has that as well? And then, like you said, in addition, all the commercials are now featuring them and the product deals that they have.
Yeah, 100%. It stood out to me. It's wild. I love it. I think it's really fun to watch kind of this boom of these stars taking over and just seeing like what levels they will end up reaching next because we don't know. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I think it does hint at what's coming next in terms of creators can anchor a primetime network show. And that is new and that is probably going to lead to more creator casted programming, a faster pipeline from someone who can do something on their phone camera to a national stage. Media companies probably restructuring around audience first personalities, those people that are going to drive so much audience attention. It also just seems to be reviving a lot of shows. I don't know for sure if that's why SNL made the hire that they did with the creator earlier this year, but I have to guess it's something that they've thought about because she does have this incredible audience online.
Yeah.
And to be able to translate that back and forth, it's got to be huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely. With Veronica, I love watching her and I'm curious to see where she goes. She's one of my favorite creators. SNL has always kind of taken risks in how do we stay current with the audience. And sometimes it works and sometimes it totally doesn't. But again, I'm like the prime person these companies are doing it for. I am watching all of these shows this year. Okay, so question for folks watching, joining. Are you watching any of these shows? Are you watching them and haven't watched them for years because someone like an influencer, a content creator, is pulling you in? Is this working on you like it is for me?
Yeah, that's a great question. If it is, it definitely signals a power flip that trad media is no longer the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is in the hands of you,
That's
the people who
powerful.
give the attention.
Bring it back to the people.
That's all we got for this week.
Make sure to watch our full episodes at Blonde on the Run's YouTube channel. You can also find snippets on TikTok and Instagram at Nervy Girls, as well as our personal accounts. I am at Weirdo Hour.
I'm at Blonde on the Run, and we'll see you next week.